on behalf of the Tools for Life Learning Center at Loud and Habitat for Humanity, I want to thank you for joining us for tonight's virtual workshop called Spring Cleaning for Your Garage. My name is Amanda Bollig, and I'm the Program Project Specialist here at Loud and Habitat for Humanity. So I oversee our Affordable Home Repair Program, as well as the Tools for Life Learning Center. So we're going to jump right in with today's goals, because I know we've got a lot to talk about. So the first thing that Lisa is going to explain to us is simplifying getting organized. Sometimes organization can feel daunting and overwhelming, but Lisa's going to simplify it for us. She's going to do that using her secret system, which she'll explain a little bit more about. And then finally, we will wrap it up with talking about some of those roadblocks, those mental roadblocks that you might have that are kind of keeping you stuck when it comes to getting organized. So you've heard me mention her name. This is Lisa on the call with us today. She is the owner and chief declutter officer of the Organizing Mentors, serving the greater DC area. And Lisa has been helping people reclaim their space, both mentally and physically, for the last 10 years. And we love Lisa because she is a big supporter of the Habitat Restore. So we are very grateful to have her with us today presenting. So thank you, Lisa. If you have questions for Lisa during the course of her presentation, you can use the chat box to type them in, but we're not going to answer them until the end of the presentation. But if you have some sort of technical difficulty or something like that, and you need to put that in the chat, we do have somebody joining us today who can help answer those questions. But any questions for Lisa, we'll answer towards the end of her presentation. All right, with that, I'm going to pass it off to you, Lisa, because I know you have quite a bit to share with us.
I do. Thanks, Amanda, and everybody at Habitat. I love Habitat Restore, and especially the people over at the Loud and Restore. They're just amazing. Great crew of people. So yeah, where do you begin with organizing? Someone even like right at the beginning, how do I start organizing? Does anyone feel this? And I have to talk fast. I have a half an hour, and I'm Italian, so I talk a lot, so I have to talk fast. If you feel any of that, right? You can't find anything. There's just overwhelm, chaos. We talk a lot about the mental and physical clutter, because seeing the physical clutter kind of clutters our brain. It stops us from functioning in a productive manner. And so it just kind of becomes an overwhelming cycle. And does anyone feel like they live in a house that just has stuff spewing from every place? It's overwhelming. And now that we've been in our houses for a year, seeing all that stuff, a lot of people are even more overwhelmed. So I'm so glad you guys are all on here. We're going to talk, obviously we're talking garages, but the system I'm going to teach you really quickly, take some notes, is any decision you want to make, any space in your area, garage, basement, kitchen, clothes, anything. And we're gonna talk about it and get you started. So next slide. So the LITL system, LITL, the name of my business when I started almost 12 years ago, was Leave It to Lisa, so LITL. And so when I started teaching, I thought, what is the system? What do I do with my clients? And now I have 6 employees that I had to train and teach, the LITL system. So these are it's 4 steps, but it's 2 steps and then 2 outcomes of taking those first steps. So the first step is let it go. Then we go to intentional, transform, and then you love it and you live it. And we're going to go through these a little quickly, but I want to talk through them with you. So next slide. So let it go. What are the things that you don't want? And that's where you start. So how do you start organizing, right? How do you start eating an elephant if you're in overwhelm, right? How do you start eating an elephant? 1 bite at a time to cut down a little of that overwhelm. So the L, let it go. So you're in your closet, you're in your garage, right? We're talking garages. What are the things, what's any garbage in there? Any stuff you're not using? Loose bags or recycling or broken and damaged items, the messes, go through those messes. The only way to get through it, you guys, is to go through it, right? You have to get through the emotional, like we'll talk about that in a minute, but the emotional and just the stuff. So I say set a little time every day or whenever you can, because you have to set a date with yourself. just like going to the doctor, getting your teeth done, anything, losing weight. You have to set a program for yourself. When we're with our clients, we basically are there to help them, move them along, set an appointment with us, right? So you're going to get the work done. Try not to do, I'm going to do the whole garage this weekend. It's going to be overwhelming unless you don't have a whole lot of stuff in there. Of course, you have to, it's a personal decision. Every client we work with, it's very personal. So I don't have any rules or cut and dried tools or anything that you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. But this one, this first step is easy. It's what you absolutely know you don't want. And you get that out. You have a box, you have an empty box, and anything that Loud Habitat for Humanity will take, the restore, you put that in the box and you get a car full. And when it's full, you drive it over to Habitat and you donate it. Okay, so then that's the easy step, you guys. Let it go. What can you let go of right away? That first decision. Okay, next slide. This is intentional. Now, this is the stuff that, well, grandma gave it to me. I don't know. Should I keep it? You know, she gifted me this, or someone gives you something. You don't know what to do with it. Or how about, ladies and gentlemen, the stuff in your closet? Should I keep it? Am I going to fit into it again? I really liked it. Oh, I spent so much money on. Okay, in your closet, right? The stuff you don't know. You don't know if it's going to fit you. You spend a lot of money on things. A lot of people keep things around for someday. Have you ever said that? Someday I'm going to wear it. Someday it'll fit me. Someday I'm going to give it away. Someday I'm going to sell it. It'll be worth money. I'll give it here. I'm saving it for my kids. I'm saving it for my grandkids someday. So if you find yourself saying someday, this one takes an intentional decision. And that's where we come in. That's where a confidant, a friend, your spouse, your kids come in and talk those things through. You know, does it make you feel good when you look at something? Is it out of guilt? Do you feel bad that you don't want it anymore? Do you feel like you love it? You know, I know there's someone out there that says, does it spark joy? And I think I don't have, and everything in my house does not spark joy or make me happy. My toilet brush, you know, I have to keep it around, you know, my toilet plunger, things like that. You don't have to love everything, but if it's a good memory, or if it makes you feel good, you don't mind it in your house, that sort of thing. That's the intentional, you know, evaluate what it's worth for you, not monetarily. What it brings to you. Does it serve a purpose in your life, right? Keep the good memories. Try not to dwell on the past so much too, that you have to keep it or you don't know what to do with it. Offer it to friends and family, and really talk these through. So this is the step that's difficult. This is the step that takes a little bit more time, and this is where people stop. So if it's too much to work on after you let everything go, put it away. If you're looking at old pictures of your parents who passed away, put it away if you can't do it, and move on to the next, and make those decisions and then move on, because you don't want to get stuck. That's the hard part, is getting stuck. And that's what most people do. Okay. So the next step is transform, which I love. This is the first step is my favorite, because people really, you find that your strength, and you can do it. You can let go of things. It's okay. You can let go. The intentional makes you even stronger. You know what you want. You evaluate things. What's important in your life, right? And then this step is really the outcome. So doing something small, taking one small step, clearing your space is transformed. It's lighter, you feel better. You give yourself a pat on the back for all the decisions you had to make. So mentally and physically, your space is clearer, you feel clearer. I've had clients say, you know, I can breathe. I just feel so much better. Even coming on this call, you guys, I applaud you for knowing that you have issues, you have organizing struggles, and that you want to move forward. That's the first bite, right? Be proud of yourself for even being here. And then just take that one step, that one bite. Open a drawer, open the garage. When's your recycling come out? When does your garbage come out? Just load it up and get it out the door. That's the first step. That's let it go. And then, you know, you just feel better. You shine and you feel so much better and lighter. Okay, the next one is love it and live it. So you're in the space, you're loving the space. Hopefully it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. It has to be your perfect for right now. And, you know, you feel lighter, you feel better, you know, you're living in a clearer space mentally and physically. So always remember that the physical clutter affects us mentally. And then clearing a little of the physical clutter helps you feel better mentally. You feel better, you feel lighter, you've done something, you've accomplished something that maybe you've wanted to do for years, right? It's just, it's a good feeling. You feel very powerful. And if you have people who support you, that's even better. We come in and sometimes our clients have no support system. They don't have kids or they don't have spouses, and, you know, their friends, they've asked, but they need a professional to come in and help. So we come in with our expertise, and it just lifts me up too when I work with my clients. So that's the system. And I wanted to do it quickly because I think there's a lot of questions that people have. So if you have questions that aren't like specific personal, you know, to your situation, but you think maybe they're universal, we can answer those. But the whole point, what I really want to reiterate and push is just take one bite, just take one step, right? Open the closet, open your drawer. I'm a little different than other organizers, where if you're in your closet, take the things off the shelf and off hangers that you know you don't want. Don't take everything off and go through it. Take off what you don't want. I even suggest in your closet or in the kitchen, take away anything that's broken, or in your closet, the wire hangers. Just getting rid of the extras that are taking up mental space, right? In your vision will help you see what's there and what's important, right? Because you get rid of the extra, right? The extra clutter in front of you. So just take that first step, you guys. I challenge you this weekend, just do something. Just do something this weekend or tonight or tomorrow. Get that stack of papers, put it next to you while you're binging on Netflix or something. I like to say, grab your drink of choice, a glass of wine, a cup of tea, and just go through papers or go through photos. It makes it go quicker. Call us. We do virtual organizing also, but also I suggest calling a friend. Hey, let's get on FaceTime and just do our papers while we're on a call. It goes by a lot quicker. You make easy decisions a lot quicker when someone's with you. Okay, the next slide. And then we come to the roadblocks, right? So all of that I just told you, simple, it's not easy, right? So the mental roadblocks, the responsibility of holding on to stuff, your parents' things, your family's things, your kids' things, I'm holding this for them. And how about other people's stuff that you don't even know you had? Oh, she left that there years ago. I didn't even remember I had it. Being stuck, the mental challenges, it's also hard to choose when you really don't know what you want. So ask yourself that. There's a saying that I say to my daughter, who she doesn't like it at all. I don't know, Mom, I don't know. And I used to say, I still do. If you did know, what would it be? And usually that answer is right there. So if you did know what you wanted to do with something, what would it be? And it could be, I'm still not sure. That's fine. But at least give yourself that opportunity to open up your mind and your brain and, you know, and get those feelings and those thoughts through. Because like that one post right here is, life is a balance of holding on and letting go of everything in life. So do you want to keep holding on to all that heavy stuff, that burden of things that's keeping you stuck? Or do you want to let it go? Do you want to feel lighter and not so burdensome? My nephew was in town over the holidays, and he's 8 years old, and he spilled a little red wine that was in a glass. And oh, Auntie Lisa, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, Anthony, that's fine. This was my mom's tablecloth. You know where that stain came from? That was Christmas, 1975. And he just laughed. I said, that's the whole point of having things, is to use them. Okay, we want to preserve, but and I've done this too, I've broken one of my mom's old china or my grandmother's glass or a teacup. And I said, sorry guys, we used it, we loved it. Use your stuff. Don't save things for a special occasion. Just use them and enjoy. That's what the generations before you wanted you to do, to use it and love it and work it into your life. Use it. Don't keep it all bubble wrapped in a box way in the back of the shelf or in the back of your closet. Use it. That's what it's there for. But you will hit roadblocks, and if you need to, stop and move. Come back later. That's the best way to do it, because we hit roadblocks with many decisions in our lives. Okay, next slide. And I love this phrase by Peter Walsh. If what you own doesn't help you create the life you want, why is it in your home? And I go a step further, thinking, if what you own, so what you think, your thoughts, your regrets, the things you think about, doesn't create the life you want, it's keeping you stuck, right? Why is it in your home? Why is it in your body? Why is that thought still there? It's not doing you any good. If it's not creating a life you want and you love and you feel free and you enjoy, try to get that out. A lot of things, a lot of energy is in stuff, and we hold on to stuff because we're holding on to thoughts and all that. I mean, it's pretty intense when you think about it, and you will have those emotions going through things. So just let it go. Let those thoughts come, because you want to be healthy. You want your surroundings and mentally to be healthy. So when people ask what kind of organizer I am, I say we heal your soul and your space. We try to do it holistically and figure out what you really need, what's important in your life moving forward for your future self, your home, your house, your family. And stuff has a lot of power, and getting rid of it has a lot of power also. And it's hard. And I'm not saying that this is easy. Like I said, it's simple. It's not easy. It's like the Nike swoosh. Just do it. That's right. Just is really, it's just an easy word to say. Just is difficult. Just start cleaning, just start organizing, just start one place at a time. You have to want to do it and make the decision to do it. And that will set you free. It really will. All right. So questions. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, this is my information. And also Amanda's going to be sending everyone an email that was on the call. And I would like to offer all you wonderful people a 20-minute virtual consultation, phone consultation. Tell me about your situation. I can help you. If you have any personal questions and specific questions, we can do that. Just mention Habitat for Humanity Restore, and when you call me, or shoot me an email. You have all my contact information here, and we'll help you, and if you need us down the road, we can talk about that as well. So thank you for coming, and I hope I'm on time, but ask those questions, start asking those questions.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. You actually are right on time. You did a great
Really?
job.
Even with our power outage?
It's 6:20, so you're good.
Oh.
We have plenty of time to get to some questions, but first I just want to wrap some things up. So one of the things that Lisa mentioned is just take it one bite at a time. She talked about, taking one bite of the elephant, and that's exactly where we kind of start with things. So take it one bite at a time. Ask yourself those important questions. What's important to you? What's holding you back? What are those roadblocks? And then apply Lisa's system as you're doing that. And that should help you organize your garage and organize any other space in your house. And of course, if you've got super specific questions, reach out to Lisa. But if you've got some general questions that you would like answered, we can go ahead and answer some of those questions now. So put them in the chat box. And while our viewers are doing that, I had a question for you, Lisa. You mentioned the first step is letting go of things. And what if some of those things I know I'm ready to let go of, but I want to maybe make a little money off of it and have a garage sale? What are your tips for that?
My thoughts on garage sales. Okay, so garage sales are difficult. Because it takes a lot of time to clean everything, prepare everything, price everything. I recommend if you're doing a yard sale, try to get your neighborhood involved, or call your HOA and do a neighborhood yard sale. I don't know what the protocols are going to be, or, guidelines are going to be for this summer with COVID still. But do a neighborhood. That way it's publicized. There's lots of homes. People are coming, for the garage sale. I find people are very disappointed with garage sales. I like posting things. This is what I do for my clients. Post things on Facebook Marketplace. I like Facebook better than other places because you can see the person. Amanda, if you say, I would like, how much for the couch? I know you, I can see your profile. I can see you. I know you are a person. And it just makes me feel better. And even for my clients, they, if we're there when someone picks something up, that's great. But I also say, have a neighbor or someone come over. But that way you can price it. And really when you're pricing, price what you would rebuy that piece for, not the money you paid for it. I think that's a very big, well, I paid $1,000 for this chair 10 years ago. Well, did you get your money's worth? Can you just take 200 or whatever the person's going to offer? And just be realistic. What would you pay for that now in the condition it is? And also if someone, here's another little, trade tip that I kind of made up. I don't know, it's not makeup, but if someone say you have something for $300, they offer you 200. I'll meet you in the middle at 250. Most people say, okay. So just don't negotiate. Just say, here, I'll meet you in the middle. Let's come right to the middle. And people do that more often than not. So that's my tip. I mean, if you want to take the time to do garage sale, because we have a lot of time these days, do it. But please give yourself, be appropriate in what you think you're going to get for it, because it's a lot of work. And you'll have $1 on something and they'll offer you a nickel. So be careful.
Good tips. Okay, we've got a question that came in specifically about how to organize tools. Do you have any tips for getting those organized in your garage?
First, go through them. And if you have 17 screwdrivers, or I know they're all different purposes and things like that, because my family are big tool, people, workers, and go through them, see how many you have. If you can lay them out. If not, you can get pegboards, or after that, you can get pegboards, or buy one of those Craftsman toolboxes if you have enough. It could be a big one. I've seen huge ones in people's garages that, are really handy, and they love doing that. You can also, it's very fun if you want to do this, so everyone knows where things go. So the hammer, get one of those pegboards with all the little contraptions on there and outline where the hammer goes. So everyone knows that's the spot for the hammer. It looks cute. And then if your kids or your family or someone's borrowing something, put the hammer back. Oh, I don't know where it goes. Well, there's a little drawing right there that you can do it. If you have, the time and the energy to do that. Whoever asked that, the first step is just doing it, right? That's the hard part, because it's overwhelming. It's a big job depending on how much stuff you have. So again, but really is just taking that first step.
Okay, the next question we have is, someone would like some ideas or suggestions on where to start if they know they have to move within the next 6 months.
Start tomorrow and do the little system. That's a nice amount of time. It's not overwhelmed. It's, you have time. Just do a little every day, or set it in your calendar for Saturday or Sunday if you work during the week, and start with the little system. Open one closet. What can you let go of? Just get that out the door. The next closet, what can you let go of? Also, I always say, and if it doesn't go to Habitat, find a place that you like to donate things to, right? Because Habitat doesn't take everything, but make sure you get a list, because a lot of my clients say, well, I have this pile of stuff, I don't know where it goes. Do that research first. I mean, you have Habitat, obviously, for a lot of stuff, tools, all that. But have that in mind first. And then save your Costco and your Sam's Club boxes, or liquor store boxes, or anything, to donate your things in there. You just have to start. And if you have 6 months, that's beautiful, because there's a lot of stress going on with moving. And if you have that amount of time to work a little bit here and there, just keep going. Just set a schedule with yourself.
Is there a specific room that's maybe best for them to kind of start with to start packing? I mean, obviously you're going to need your things in your kitchen kind of almost till the last minute. So
that's a good question. The place, probably the basement, because that is where we usually just throw things. So there might be a lot of stuff in there that you don't want, that you haven't used, or the garage, if that's kind of a storage space. Do those places, because that'll be easier and you can make room, or that closet, or I mean, the guest bedroom, if you have a guest bedroom, or a closet that everything just gets thrown in, because that way you can be moving things that maybe you do want to keep for the next 6 months that you're going to be living there in those closets. So when we work with clients moving, or even organizing, I always say, okay, what's the place that drives you the craziest? And sometimes it's the kitchen because everyone lives there and, all that. But sometimes it's the bedroom because they want a place to go where it's serene, that they can just kind of forget about the clutter and craziness and just be there. So it really depends on where you're going to feel most, it's most effective for you. So it's really up to you, where place that drives you the craziest, or, place you want a little serenity.
That's a good tip. Okay, we are just about ready to wrap it up. There was another question that was in the chat box a little earlier about, getting the information about the LITL process. All of that is on Lisa's website.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Organizing Mentors, that website that was on one of the previous slides, if you go to her section called About, the LITL process.
And it actually, when you first come on there, Amanda, too, it'll pop up.
There you go.
So it's even easier. Yeah, you just put in your email, and we don't spam. It's just, for us to know where they've gone. Yeah, and you can print it out or just save it. So yeah, or you can go, when you're finding things out, it is in the About section also, just in case you missed that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap things up for tonight. So thank you all for joining us. We really hope you really took something away from this and you've gained the confidence to go out into your garages and start clearing stuff out. If you're curious about Habitat for Humanity, any of our programming, or more information about our Tools for Life Learning Center, you can check out our website, loudenhabitat.org. And then also in the chat box that just went out is a link to sign up for regular communication about our upcoming workshops. So once a month, we'll send you a little email that'll tell you what our next 2 workshops are, and you can go ahead and register through that. Or of course, you can check out our website as well. Our next workshop is going to be April 1st. At 12 o'clock. So
is it really?
Break, yes.
April Fool's Day.
I know, April Fool's. But it will be April 1st at 12 o'clock during your lunch break. And we're going to tackle the question, how much house can I afford? So that's going to be a great workshop for people getting ready to maybe jump into home ownership. So if you'd like to join us for that, we'd love to have you. You can sign up on our website. And of course, check out any of our upcoming workshops and our recorded workshops as well. And so with that, we will wish you a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you all again soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.